we now know how the church runs,
Yes.
how structured our Presbyterian church is. And now we'll get into matters youths and the church. And I'll hand over to one of us, Christine, to say out what she has.
Okay, my question is, which are the steps to be followed for a person to become a full member of the PCA?
Maybe you can, we can ask ourselves, who is a full member? Do we have a full member, a quarter member, half member? You know, when you enter into a church, when you are brought as a child and you are baptized, you became a full member. Through baptism, you became a full member. But you see, you are a full member, but you are not a partaker of Holy Communion because you are still young. So when you reach the age of 12 and above 13 and over, you are supposed to come to the church to take the vows that were taken on your behalf by your parent, so that now you can become a communicant. A child is a full member but not a communicant. Are you getting the difference?
Yeah.
It's a full member, has all the rights of the church, but not a communicant. But when you become 13, you are supposed to take your vows. That's why you come back, you are taught catechism, you are taught about the sacraments, you are taught about the baptism, you are taught about the church, so many things, so that now you can take your vows. Then you become now a full member, because now you are a communicant. Although you are still a full member as a child, but now you become a communicant, because you take Holy Communion. But if you are in the church, let's say you have joined the church as an adult, and you are not baptized, the first thing you have to do is you must be baptized. But that one will not make you a full member even if you are baptized. You now undergo a catechism class, and then you are confirmed to become now a full member. Are we together?
Yes.
In case you are married, in case you have joined the church and you are married, mostly here what we do, if it's a lady, you come to the what we call the pastoral session. Kiama fata. Long time ago it used to be called what? Was it this kiama discipline? And people used to fear it so much. But it is pastoral session. You come to the pastoral session where the elders are and the minister. We know more about you. Then we hand you over to the evangelist. You are taught catechism. And then we accept you and you become a full member. Only if you are a lady. If you are a man, you undergo the same. But you must be married officially in the church. Lazima ufanye harusi ya kanisa.
Still on that same matter.
Yeah.
Okay, I've come and we are married. Maybe we got, when we were younger, we got married. But
Yes.
along the way, the man just went astray. And now he's back to the church. Maybe the wife have been continuing going to the church, but now the man was astray.
Yes.
And they had already done a wedding
Yeah.
in the church.
Yeah.
What will happen in such a case?
Now, what we usually say is that that man has lapsed. To lapse is to cease being a communicant. And there are so many factors that make people lapse. One is being wayward, going back to the world. It can also mean you have taken more than 2 years without taking the Holy Communion. You have gone to another church, you have left the church, and now you are coming back. Or a woman has gone back to her parents and she's coming back. We say you have lapsed. If you have lapsed, you go back to your elder who will take you to the pastoral session, the same procedure. Then the pastoral session will give you some time to go back to the classes for catechism class. They may tell you 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. You undergo the classes. And at the same time, the minister or the evangelist or the elder is doing some pastoral sessions with you, returning you back to the fold. Then after that, you are accepted back. So that's how you become a full member. But we said it's a requirement of a man. But still, if a man is ready to do a wedding, and the lady is not ready to do the wedding, then the man is accepted to the communion, and the lady is brought. If she is not ready to do the wedding. But we usually say, the way it is known, the one who really cheat, or let me not use the word cheat,
Lie.
the one who, not really use the one who influenced you to leave your parent, mainly is the man, is it?
Yes.
Although these days even the ladies become wanakataria kwako. Lakini we usually say that the man is more sinner. That's why we say the man is do what? Is brought from becoming a communicant until afanye harusi. Lakini akishafanya harusi ni lazima arudi kwa session ndio sasa abiwe you can now become a communicant. But he must undergo the catechism class also. You had a question?
Yes. I think sometimes the burden mostly is laid on us, men, that we are the one who influenced.
Yes.
But I think to some extent, two people come into agreement, they work together. When you think we just sat down together somewhere and we came up with, okay, can you come? Okay, I can't. So it's a both parties doing that thing.
Yes. You know, what really happens, and you agree with me, when a girl is at her home, the man is very active. It's the active participant.
True, very true.
Yes.
The man is the active participant.
Yeah.
He will always be telling the lady, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And that is usually the best time to do the wedding. Because the man can do anything.
Yeah.
And even plow a whole farm. But the minute you enter into his house, he's the one who is now ran after. The lady now is the one who is running after the man. Please do this for me. Naye anasema no. And previously the lady is the one who was saying no. So that's why we usually say the best time for the youth to do a wedding is before you enter into that house. Before you give yourself in. Because once the man has conquered, hana haja na harusi tena. Some of them are running for the next victory. So that's why we say the man is the one now to implement the wedding part, because he is now the what? The senior most guy in the house, is it?
Yeah.
The lady can do anything because now she has been won. So if you have married out there, the man is the one who is now brought from joining until he dissolves the sin, because he can use his own ways and do the wedding. Yes.
And still on the summer, thank you. We most of the times sometimes we'll bring in some issues of financial matters, and maybe I'll say no, maybe I'm not financially stable, but instead of going a straight way, because I still want to remain in the mainstream, what are there other ways that we can use apart from maybe doing the ceremony itself, maybe in the church? Maybe some of us would say, no, maybe I'm not financially okay. What are the other ways maybe someone else we can do, just not to go there straight away?
I would say that we do a lot of copying from other people. Weddings are usually the cheapest of all other occasions. But we want to show people, and let me tell you, you cannot do as much as others have done. And there are people who have done big weddings, but they end up divorcing after some time, because they are after wedding. Wedding is a gate. Marriage is the home. If you have a very good gate and a very poor house or a very poor home, you see, we built a very expensive wedding, but the house ni ile ya matope. So we want you to have a good gate, yes, maybe and a good house. But even if there is a very poor gate and a good house, it will be better. What I'm saying here is that you can have a marriage, a wedding of 5 people, any day of the week, any time from 8 to 6. 5 people. We need the person who is doing the wedding, the 2 people who are doing the wedding, isn't it? The man and the woman. Let me not say 2.
Yes.
Because there must be female and male. Don't come 2 males. And also the people who are now witnesses, the 2 people, they must be husband and wife. They should always be married. And now we have the minister. Those 5 are enough. Come any day of the week. No eating, no drinking, no car. Walk in, walk out. Walk in, unmarried, walk out, married. All that we require is that you must have the blessings of the parents. The blessings of the parents. I'm not telling you you go with a lot of money to pay bride price. Enda kwa wazazi wawabariki. Wakisha wabariki, because we also want the blessings of the parents. Come, now you receive the blessings of the church. So don't compare your wedding with somebody's wedding. Because even if you do a big wedding, it's only for 1 day. Then all the makeups, you wash them, the big net, you remove it, then you become the original you. And we want that original you, that is marriage. The makeups and the nets, that's the wedding, the gate. So you can make a very simple wedding. Very simple one. Now if you come to the church, we have some fees that we pay in the church, but mainly is the certificate. The rest we can organize. It's only the certificate which is 2,000. But the rest you can be paying maybe story by story. So it can be as cheap as you want. The other process is simple. You come to the office and I'll tell you the whole process, which is very, very simple. How much do you pay at the government? Is it
1,400.
1,400.
Yes, 600 and 800.
Yeah. And you have somebody at your house.
Somebody paired, eh?
Yes. you are paired.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just a question.
Mm.
What if I'm a Christian,
Mm.
but I would love to have a traditional wedding? Is it still valid in the church, or will I be blocked from taking the Holy Communion?
Let me tell you that even people who are married in Christianity, they have a part of tradition. Whereby now you go, you pay bride price, that is traditional. So you have traditional. Never be told that somebody is married traditional. We are all married traditional. But we have gone a scotch higher. If I'm married traditionally, the church will not allow you as a full member without having done the church wedding. Why? Because traditionally, you can marry as many wives as you want. Do you know that? I can marry one this year, next year, even if there is no number. It's better Muslim who says 5 at a time. At a time. You remember, at a time means you can remove one and put another. But in in tradition, you can have as many as you want. And we want the protection of this lady. So that's why we have the Christian marriage is only one wife. Also the civic marriage, because we have 3 types of marriage: the Christian, the civic, and also the tradition. Civic and Christian is only one wife. Are we together?
Yes.
That's why we insist that it has to be a Christian marriage. Mtu asikwambia ni married traditionally. Because men like it so much to marry traditionally. Without coming to the church, because they may want, if need be,
It's open.
it's open. It's an open court. It must be closed. One. Yes.
Okay, I have a question. Does the church follow up on these marriages? Because you have seen the instances where you find a man has a wife, but behind he has wife and probably children.
Yeah.
Does the church follow up on how the families are, on how, if they're still on line with the church guidelines. Yes.
Let me say that sometimes it's very hard to police people. Because I may be having a wife at Mombasa and people don't really know that I have one, is it? Let me call them wives or into bracket concubines, ama mpango. And many people have those mpangos. And that's, being a Christian means you are straightforward. But in the district we have an elder. The work of the elder, like now if you want transfer, I have to ask for a letter from an elder. Because you come and you are transferred to this place, and where you are married, and you come as a girl. So I ask for a letter from the person who you are under them. Are we together? Or myself, I will give you a letter to say you are a girl. Because many people transfer as youths. When you are living Waithaka, you are a youth. But when you are at Mombasa, you are married. But I have given you a transfer. Alafu unaenda kule unapeleka unasema nimekuja na transfer yangu. Lakini usemi where I came from, I was a girl and now I'm a mother. Are we together? I'm saying there is what we call what we see and whom you are. And that's why we say a Christian should also fear God. Huh? If you are taking a Holy Communion, you should fear God. But if we realizes that you are married to many people, to other wives or to other men, because also ladies, they have wanaume wa kando. If we realizes, we block you from taking Holy Communion, and we refer you to pastoral session. If we realizes, but we are human beings, we may not know everything, but God knows whatever is happening. Yeah, that's sometimes we give people benefit of doubt.
And what if, let's say I was seeing someone, and in the process maybe nili slide and nikagundua like maybe 1 month pregnant, ama 2 months pregnant, and then because I'm a Christian, as in tunataka kufikiria, tunaharakisha process ya wedding. What does the church what do you do maybe after you have realized that msichana mwenye amefanya harusi alifanya because she was pregnant, na hatutaki kusemwa, hatutaki usikiange alishika mimba na hajaolewa or something of that sort?
Wachani niwaambie, hata sio tu kushika mimba. Now, you don't become a thief because you have been caught with what you stole. Because there are so many people who practice fornication and they don't become pregnant. Do you know that when you meet a man, even if it's only once, you are already married to that man? That is marriage. Already you are married. And that is but the Bible. You are married to that person, to that woman. If you have met once. So that's why so many people are married to many people. What I'm saying here is that if you realize that you have stayed together as a husband and wife, just come to the church, come to the minister. Many people have come to me. And I have told them, since you have now stayed as husband and wife, now continue staying. I will not tell you to abstain because already you have started the process. I will pray for them and then I will tell them, now what you do is you do 1, 2, 3 things. Go to the Attorney General, muandikishe marriage, harusi, then you come and do the wedding, now as husband and wife. Even when I will be announcing, I will be saying, mutumio weto, so and so, na muthuri wake nimekwenda kurathimirwo kihiko kiao kia tene tondu ti hindi mambiriria. Are we together? Yeah, because already they have eaten. And when you realize you have eaten, what do? Even food, if you have already started eating and you have not prayed for, what do?
You continue.
Just continue.
You continue eating or you pray fast?
You just continue.
Yes, so what you are saying, if you realize this, because you have realized, but you have now to, before you come to me, you have to confess to yourself. You have to go before God. And maybe before you go to God, yourself, because already you have a tag, try to remove that tag. Confess to yourself and say, I'm sorry because I have done to my body. Then confess to God and also to the partner. Because there are so many people who have come to me, they have already started a relationship, they have slept together, and I ask them, are you still saved? They are saying, yes, hatujaanguka, but we are still. It's good you realize that the moment that you came together, you stopped being saved. So it's a time to come back to God. Ask God for forgiveness. Then continue staying with the person that you started the process with. Hata ukija kanisani, we don't sanctify things that have already been used. The church does not sanctify. Only God sanctifies. Are we together?
Yes.
Because watu wanasema atene gutheria. Twathi guthambio tutherio tutitheragia no Ngai ugitheria. Yes.
Marriage seems to be an interesting conversation, and we hope that we'll have more time to get to discuss about it. And so